called an inhabited precinct, or I don't know. It's got some name for it, but it's not a real city according to the post office. And there's less than 100 people there.
Yeah.
And the name of it is called Hyder. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
No, I've never heard of it. But
it's the most southern city in Alaska that has an ocean port. There's a canal that gets up to it called Portland Canal.
Yeah.
And that canal goes all the way out to the Pacific Ocean. And back in the 1800s, they had a great big mining, like gold rush.
Yeah.
And there was like thousands of people who lived there. And then when the mining splurge died out back in early 1900s, everybody kind of wandered off and left. And then they had a big fire that burned down. They had a big boardwalk there.
Yeah.
And it burned down most of the boardwalk. So after that, it just never survived that too much. And so there's only 2 or 3 hotels in the whole city. And there's a book, there's a library there. And there's a post office there. But that's it. There's not even a police force there.
Yeah.
So
I've been to a lot of places like that.
Yeah. And all the streets in it are all dirt.
I just come back the last of April. I went to a little town out in West Texas called Turkey, Texas. I went to the Bob Wills Festival. And the town has got 430 people in it. They haven't even got a police force. They haven't even got a mayor.
Yeah.
And that one weekend, every year, it grows from 430 people to over 30,000.
Wow. That's quite a few.
Yep.
Well, when I get there, what I'd like to do is to be able to take a camcorder and drive up and down the main streets of the city and just camcorder all the houses and all the buildings and put them on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot about it already, but I have a sneaky suspicion that what I've seen is not, it's probably close to reality, but it's not, really like it really is.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that made a huge difference was in Google Maps, there's a different views you can take.
Yeah.
And if you just look at a regular map, everything is flat.
Yeah.
But there's one called the geographical map, where it shows you the elevations.
Yeah.
And when I turned the geographical map on, it turns out that the height or the city is on the side of a mountain. And so there's only about 60 or 80 feet that's next to the river. And the rest of it, the mountain goes like 60 degrees straight up.
Yep.
And there's no buildings there, of course, but it's a real tall mountain right next to the city. And to get into Hyder, you have to drive around the mountain that goes next to the Portland Riverway.
Yeah.
So you drive around the mountain and you go through the customs, and that's how you get to it. So going in is not a big deal. They just kind of wave you on, but coming back into Canada, they make you go through the big rigmarole.
Well, what are you going to take into a little town there in Alaska?
You can't go anywhere unless you leave by boat.
Yep.
And there is a back door out of it that goes up the mountain.
Yep.
But it eventually dies out. It doesn't connect to any other highways. So it's basically a dead end.
Sounds like it's down here.
I think they're doing target practice over there because I've been hearing guns go off all day.
It doesn't sound like gun.
That one didn't, but I've been.
It sounds like something else.
It reminded me of guns. But earlier I was hearing like ba-bam, ba-bam, like they were doing target practice. And I had my back, I was sitting in that chair over there, and I thought, God, if they shoot over here, I'm screwed.
Uh,
How far does a bullet really travel across that field?
and there's been a lot of people that drive up there and take pictures and put them on the internet and all that stuff. So you sort of get an idea what it's like.
This is
but
Rebecca
it's not,
Vargas
I don't think it'd
reporting
be the
live.
same as being
Lovely
there.
day.
No. You can take pictures all you want.
Look,
It's
he's
nothing like
happy.
being there.
You look happy.
There's one
What is it?
You look
hotel, motel
It's
kind
Kathy.
of building
No, I said you look
that
happy.
right when you first
Oh,
go into Hyder,
well, I
it's
am.
about a couple
I'm
hundred feet
glad.
on the left
I think you're
when you
beautiful.
go in, and it's pretty big. It's the biggest building there.